Let's just cover a few things and get a few things out of the way. Digital ID. What you've got to understand, a lot of the infrastructure is already in place. They've already nobbled us in a way with various acts of parliament. This has been happening since 2016. So again, this is more evidence of the uni party at work from bills like this is just a few, the Investigatory Powers Bill, the Digital Economy Act 2017, the Online Safety Bill. There's bill after a bill. There's about 7 that have been passed since about 2016. Now, who was in power during those days? It was the Tories. So whilst we see Keir Starmer as the evil being that he is, and that he's the one that wants digital ID, this mission creep has been dumped on us without our consent. And when I say without our consent, yes, it's been put out to consultation, but here's an example of how ineffective for us consultations are. Very effective for the government because not enough people see them. They put them out on government websites. How do you know where to find them? How do you know what to look for? What do you type into your machine? Are you supposed to go on a government website every day of the week to see what they're doing? How many times do you know what's actually going on in Parliament? Because they filibuster the day out by watching you watch idiots asking pre-designated questions to a Prime Minister who knows exactly how he's going to answer. That's just theatre. That's just TV. It's not doing anything. So unfortunately, unless you get to know about consultations, the example being in 2017 when I got a tip-off about a consultation for halal meat being supplied to all Lancashire schools, there was a consultation out. Normally a handful, 500 people might respond to it. I put it on UK Politics Uncovered on Facebook and it got 10,000 responses, all wanting non-stunned halal meat not to be served in Lancashire schools for the sake of 3% of the children that attended there. We won. Why did we win? Because more people saw the consultation. And that's the key. It's all about transparency. A lot of the legislation that they need to make this digital ID work is already in place. The biometrics on your passport, for instance, the fingerprint when you want to unlock your phone. That's stored in a database somewhere. It's all gathered information. Data is the new farming method. People want it. The various bills have allowed the government to sell your data and move it on to third parties. It's never been known before. It even includes medical records unless you opted out. So this is why it's important to stop what I'll call the final phase of this digital ID, which they're trying to introduce through the back door with companies. That's why I made a little short video imploring directors of limited companies or anyone who runs their own business with a handful of employees, even the self-employed, don't sign up to this. You don't have to. If you want to know how things can go wrong when governments get this far into your life, all you need to do is look back to lockdown. What happened to 45,000 care workers who got sacked because they didn't want to join in a rollout they were suspicious of? And after the fact, they were right to be suspicious because claims were made about this particular drug that it would protect other people from you if you had the illness. This turned out to be an out-and-out lie because the inquiry, the European COVID inquiry, proved this because the drug manufacturers said it was never tested for transmission. So why were people told to get it to protect others? Clearly a lie, just to get you to join in. But the knock-on effect of that was 45,000 people were sacked from an industry that already had a staffing problem. They're short-staffed anyway, which means in the care industry people were left in soiled underwear, bed sores turning septic that would normally have been cleaned and dressed. It led to so many problems. Fortunately, Together Declaration started out. They weren't in time to catch the care worker element, but they caught the frontline NHS workers. 100,000 frontline NHS workers were complaining that they were not going to take this particular mandatory drug. They got together with Together Together got so much airtime on the mainstream media, phenomenal amount, Alan Miller as their frontman. And what happened? They pushed back, they pushed the government back, just like we pushed back with halal slaughter. It was publicity, it was people joining in. And the thing to remember about this, the frontline NHS staff, who would have been sacked without Together getting involved with the already 100,000 people protesting against it, they would have been sacked, they would have lost their jobs. The critical thing here is the government already had people sitting in hotels waiting to take their jobs from overseas who couldn't speak English, dubious qualifications, some of them have seeped into the system already. The government weren't bothered about losing them. That's the thing. So what we've got to point out to people, and you can point this out to your boss, no matter what he thinks or she thinks, they are not doing this for the benefit of your company. They are not doing this for the benefit of your employee. They are doing this for the benefit of government. And it will not work because it's open to abuse. If you had a government that was more rational, that you knew because you'd voted them in, that didn't want complete control, if you had a reform government, you know full well from Nigel Farage's history, the people he's attracted, the councillors, the volunteers, they're all people like you and me who believe in freedom of speech, freedom to be, less government in your life. It's not so difficult to accept that they've got information on you. What's difficult to accept is a creature like Starmer, who has already said he prefers to deal with Davos. That's telling the world that the respected mother of all parliaments in the UK is a secondary thing to a man like him. The parliament is the voice of the people, is it not? It's supposed to be. So if he's rejecting parliament, if he prefers to deal with Davos, unelected bureaucrats and corporations, then deal with the spokesmen and women for the people of the country. Where does that sit you and me on his scale of priorities? And knowing full well that all these bills that have come in over the years since about 2016 have been steered towards the final outcome, which is this digital control of your life. It's not about identity, it's about control. It's not about you having the means to identify yourself. We already have those in several formats. We've got national insurance numbers to protect us in employment. We've got passports to protect us when we travel. We've got driving licences to protect us as we move about the country. We don't need this digital ID, this one-stop login, because it's a one-stop point for everything to fail, and it will fail. There will be a point in time where people's data is lost. It's already happened in India. How long have India had it in place? Months? 12 months? And already 850 million people got their data hacked and it was sold on the dark web. Imagine all your personal information, from how much you've got in the bank to what you like in your medical records. It's all up for grabs by bad actors, hackers, people who want to sell it on to a third party. It's open to abuse, and we've got to stand up to it. The Together Declaration have a website. I really recommend you look at it. I recommend you tell your friends about it. And the reason I recommend them is they've managed to create a movement of Together. They're cross-party, there's no allegiance to anything. Alan Miller works tirelessly. He's up every day doing something. They've helped the farmers, they've helped the nurses, they've helped everyone to keep their freedoms. And they are one of the most organised outfits I've come across. I get emails from them all the time because I've signed up. I'm actually one of their ambassadors. I don't know what that means, but I think they like me. The reason I back them is because you can back them. You don't need to pay them any money if you don't want to pay them any money. All you need to do is sign up for their emails. They'll keep you abreast of what's going on. They're very, very thorough. And they have got an organisation that your employer can get behind so they don't feel on their own with it, where to go for advice, what to do. Just go to the Together Declaration website, look it up and take advantage of it. We need to get more involved in our own lives. We can't just get on with our pleasury bits and go into work to earn the money to fund the pleasury bits. What we need to do, we need to get involved at council level, even as far down as parish council. We need to find out what people are doing. We need to insist on transparency on every aspect of our life. Together Declaration can help us a lot in this instance with the pushback. And hopefully thousands of people have signed up to this, don't forget. This isn't just a tin pot outfit. Thousands of people, lawyers, doctors, lots of people have signed up together because there's no restriction to them. They're not trying to push a party policy. They are trying to help the people. They're trying to do the job that the government should do. The government's there to protect us, and unfortunately it's become an adversary. So look it up, stay vigilant. Don't lose faith. People say, oh, it's Agenda 2030 in full swing. It's not in full swing because it's getting pushed back all the time. We should have had this digital ID by now. It should have been in place 4 years ago. Why isn't it? Because people are pushing back. Don't forget to subscribe because it does help my reach and it means more people see the message. More people see it, more people can act.